Carl Jung, How Your Dark Side Can Reveal Your Life's Purpose. Have you ever wondered what truly gives your life meaning? It's easy to look at extraordinary figures like Carl Jung, Albert Einstein, or even Leonardo da Vinci, and feel like you'll never live up to such a profound legacy. But the truth is, the purpose of your life has little to do with what you achieve and everything to do with who you become. Carl Jung, a man who revolutionized psychology, had a profound understanding of this. He said, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being." In this video, we'll dive into Jung's philosophy and explore how the dark side you're hidden, repressed traits can actually guide you to the most authentic purpose for your life. 1. The depths of the human psyche. Let's start with one of Jung's most important ideas, the psyche. According to Jung, your psyche is the total sum of your being. It includes both the conscious and unconscious parts of yourself. While we often focus on the ego, which is our conscious self, the part we identify with, Jung believed there's an entire universe of thoughts, emotions, and instincts lying just beneath the surface, the unconscious. In the heart of this unconscious world lies something incredibly powerful, the shadow. This isn't some spooky, mystical concept. Your shadow represents the parts of yourself you don't acknowledge, those traits you hide, repress, or even deny. Imagine being a child who's taught that showing anger is unacceptable. Over time, you push that anger down so deep that it almost disappears from your conscious awareness. But guess what? That anger is still there, lurking in the shadows, and it's only by confronting it that you can begin to understand it and use it productively. 2. The shadow, your hidden power. This brings us to the process of shadow work. It's a term Jung coined to describe the deliberate and often uncomfortable task of acknowledging our darker traits. Now, don't get me wrong, Jung didn't want us to become our shadow. The goal isn't to identify with our darker emotions, but to integrate them. Let me give you an example. Have you ever felt an intense sense of envy towards someone, only to feel guilty about it afterward? Maybe it was jealousy over a colleague's success or a friend's perfect relationship. But here's the thing, that envy doesn't make you a bad person. It's a signal, a clue to something deeper about yourself that you might not have realized. Through shadow work, you can take that envy, understand it, and use it as motivation. Maybe that envy tells you that you value success or meaningful connections, things that might inspire you to work harder or build stronger relationships. By confronting and understanding these hidden emotions, you can turn them from destructive forces into sources of growth and self-improvement. 3. The fear factor. Now, let's talk about fear, because here's the deal. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles standing in the way of personal growth. It's easy to see fear as something we should avoid. After all, who wants to feel scared? But Jung believed that where your fear is, that's where your next challenge and potentially your greatest life lesson lies. Think about this for a second. What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't yet? Because you're afraid? Maybe it's pursuing a passion, like writing a book or launching your own business. Maybe it's confronting a painful past experience or dealing with a relationship that needs closure. Jung would say that that fear is precisely where you need to go. The only way to move past it is by facing it head-on. Bravery doesn't come from the absence of fear, it comes from acting in spite of it. Fear is always going to be there, but it's how we respond to it that defines our lives. 4. The path of self-realization. To take this a step further, let's explore what Jung meant by self-realization. This is the process of becoming fully aware of who you are, not just the image you project to the world, but your truest self, complete with both the light and dark parts of your personality. Jung knew that this journey wasn't easy. In fact, he described it as one of the most painful processes a person can undergo. But he also saw it as the key to unlocking a life of true meaning. Imagine the discomfort you feel when you realize you've been living a life that's a bit out of alignment with your true self. It's a gut punch, but it's also the wake-up call you need to course correct. Think of it like cleaning out a cluttered attic. When you first open the door, it's overwhelming. There's so much junk, old memories, old habits, painful emotions. But once you start clearing things out, you begin to create space for something new, something meaningful. 5. Real-life example. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on someone who exemplified this process of shadow work and self-realization. Nelson Mandela. As a young man, Mandela was deeply involved in the political struggle for freedom in South Africa. Yet, his personal journey wasn't just about fighting external battles, it was about confronting his own internal darkness. In prison, Mandela had to come to terms with his anger, fear, and the emotional toll of decades spent fighting an unjust system. He didn't repress those feelings. Instead, he faced them head-on. This internal work, this shadow work, allowed Mandela to eventually emerge from prison with a sense of purpose. Far beyond personal victory, he became a symbol of forgiveness, reconciliation, and profound self-awareness. 6. Moving from reaction to actio. Now that we've looked at the dark side, let's talk about what comes next: action. You can work on your shadow and uncover hidden truths about yourself, but if you don't take action, your life will remain stuck. Jung believed that meaning isn't found in passive thinking, it's found in what you do. If you're waiting for life to present you with the perfect opportunity, chances are you'll be waiting forever. Meaningful action comes from initiating your life's direction, not just reacting to what happens. Take a moment to ask yourself, what have I always wanted to do? And more importantly, what steps am I actively taking to make it happen? 7. Embracing the fear of actio. But wait, there's that fear again, right? Yes, fear is part of the deal. But here's the thing, without taking action, you'll never experience the true meaning of life. Let's go back to the idea of becoming a published author. Many aspiring writers dream of having their book on shelves, but they don't take the actions necessary to get there. They wait for inspiration, for the perfect time. But inspiration doesn't strike on its own. It's built by sitting down to write every day, even when it feels like you have nothing to say. Conclusio. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Your life's purpose doesn't lie in avoiding your fears or repressing your darker traits. It lies in embracing your full, authentic self, including the shadows, and taking deliberate action. The mistakes, the setbacks, the fears, they all shape who you are and what you can become. Life is a journey of continuous self-discovery. Your unique path to meaning lies in how you confront your darkness, learn from it, and then step boldly into action.